Section 66, Overloading Methods and Constructors. This is one of the major techniques throughout different paradigms of languages, from procedural to object-oriented programming to functional programming, which all of them have functionality. When we have functionality, we tend to have different ways to interpret what type of data a particular function can process. And it comes to the common conclusion is a function should be independent of types. If the essence of the data is going to be doing this particular activity, they should all be encompassed in this big tent. And that whole thing is kind of abstract description, but that defines the overloading. That is overloading, meaning you are going to load up everything on this world if that particular action applied. For example, the first example that we used here is add. And this addition, add, is that you can add two types of numbers, and it can be an integer, it can also be a fraction, it can also be a floating point, and to some degree you can even add two strings together. Although we call it concatenation, it's just a different name. You are adding two phrases together, and so you can also use add. And so you can pass in different types of arguments, and you can have even mixed arguments to do the same adding, and that is overloading. And overloading also apply to the constructor. You can construct things with one particular type of material. You can construct with other type of material. You can have brick house, you can have wood house, you can have plastic house, glass house, whatever. And so that's the idea. And the rest is kind of go without saying. It's not that crucial that we getting into all the details. But the basic things are that particular concept. Once you accept that concept, then everything is going to flow smoothly. So that here are just the syntax part, and that's pretty easy once you understand that. I can have integer addition here, and I can have string addition, and I can have default constructions. Right here, this is default constructions, and here's a good example. This is a lot easier to see. This is why I like the UML, but not always. But for this particular purpose, it gives you a view, a higher attitude view, and it's pretty good, right? And you can see the constructor, you can see the deposit method, withdraw, set, and they all have different data types. And they are the same. It's just that they listed that they accept three different denominations or data types, that string, doubles, and the well, only two, and the default. I'm sorry, and the default. All right. So continue on this example. I'm just going to quickly go through the concept. The syntax is simple, so you should be able to do that. The difficult part is the concept. All right, there's more example. Try to sear the concept in in the way you think. And that is very important, because when we start thinking, different types can be made as common, and then we accept that. We accept the existence of all these different types, and they are equal. No one is better or worse or bigger than the other one. They are just um, um, a realization of the real world. Okay. Overload method makes classes more useful, right? Like our society. We need all kinds of people. We need all kinds of jobs. And so we shouldn't measure them by how much they get paid. Although you get paid more, you probably have more responsibility. At the same time, your life is more relaxed. But it's personal choice, right? Some people like to be a park ranger. They don't get paid too much, but it's a great job. I would love to do it. And overloaded method is truly going to make our society more vibrant. And okay, so let's go to next section.